In the world of leader bikes nowadays, you are truly spoiled for choice. Yamaha will sell you a championship-winning R1, and Kawasaki will sell you an even more championship-winning ZX-10. But if you want the ultimate winner's motorcycle, there's only one choice. It's a bike with power so great it can only be contained by 3 R's. It's got a surname so legendary it conjures up images of ancient Japanese warriors. It is the one and only Honda Fireblade, and there's only one place you can win it for free.
Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon in disguise.
What you got going on
in the
here?
mood. What are you doing?
What you working on?
It's the Honda Fireblade, man. It's the new expert bike.
What's the MSRP on this bad boy?
$28,500, or like $30,000 out the door.
And you're just gonna give it away?
Yeah, it sounds fun, right?
All right, well, let's see what the hype's all about, I guess.
You need me like you need air to breathe. You want me to save you from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you thought we went big last time with this supercharged naked bike, but I personally think we have outdone ourselves this time by getting the flagship of flagship Hondas, the CBR 1000 RR SP Fireblade.
The longest name in the history of motorcycles, baby.
It's a bit ridiculous, but it kind of fits such a ridiculous bike like this. Now, you guys know the deal. This is a giveaway motorcycle. Yes, we are giving away this Honda Fireblade. As I mentioned, this is a $28,500 motorcycle. Make sure you hit the links down below and get yourself entered to win. There are 3 ways to get entered: YammieNoob.co, YNMoto, and YammieMerch.com. We're running a special where if you use the code FIREBLADE10 on the YNMoto store, get your tires, get your parts, get your gear, 10% off and 2x entries, and that's also good for the merch store as well. So get your entries in on this thing early and get in on this bike, because this one's already been spoken for.
Yep, we give it away today when we're filming this, so a little later this afternoon. Now it's off to its new owner.
Yeah, well,
So-
get her out of here. I think we just...
Away she goes.
I'm actually really sad. That was a very good motorcycle. Goodbye, ZH2. Goodbye. Now, let's find out what makes this Honda Fireblade so dang special. Alrighty folks, as we mentioned, this is the flagship of flagship superbikes, the superlative, the triple R, the Fireblade. Spite, what in your opinion makes this thing so special?
Well, for sure you gotta start with this engine here. Derived from the MotoGP bike itself, this thing is just absolutely built to the nth degree. It's so finely machined and so precise and so just buttoned together.
Come on, give it to him, give it to him. What's the spec sheet number? Give it to him.
215 horsepower, baby.
That's a lot of juice.
That is the most you're gonna get out of a Japanese leader bike. The V4R is the only one that's putting down more power.
Yeah.
This thing beats the S1000 RR, the ZX-10, the R1M. This puts them all to shame.
Yeah.
And it is, I mean, it looks like it too. Man, it is drop dead sexy.
Yeah, that's the other thing you gotta take away from this motorcycle, guys, is the paint scheme, the attention to detail, these World Superbike inspired winglets right here, because as many of you guys know, the reason Honda built this thing was to go compete on racetrack. So this is a thoroughbred race bike. It was not designed for the street rider in mind, and it's built to go fast around a racetrack, as fast as you humanly can. So that's why the ergonomics are ridiculously aggressive. These pegs are basically at your butt. The handlebars super low, seat height super high, very aggressive motorcycle, but managing all that power is a pretty suite of electronics, right?
Yeah, I mean, this thing has everything under the sun. You've got your electronically adjustable suspension.
Oh God,
You've
yeah,
got,
those Olin's NPX forks.
With the nitrogen canister up front.
Unbelievable.
I mean, this is the top shelf of top shelf suspension componentry here.
Can we talk about these brakes?
Yeah, I mean,
My
those
God.
330 mil rotors, they almost don't fit on a chalk. They're so big.
Yeah, we got barely enough clearance right there. And then just this glorious master cylinder here with so much feel through the lever. Yeah, it's pretty special with its components.
Question is, when are we gonna start putting some upgrades on this machine?
Probably never. Do you want to even touch anything on this bike?
No, I'm good. I'm good to just look at it.
Yeah, I just want to look at it. I mean, we may do a full system exhaust if we get lucky, but I think that we are just going to ogle and enjoy and promote for the channel, because this was, let me tell you, a spicy check I went to go and write when I bought this thing. This is literally like down payment on a house money. It's kind of crazy. So if you're interested in winning this bike for free, I will not feel sad if you sell it and then go literally buy yourself a house. I guess that wouldn't be so sad, because very few people can extract what this motorcycle can do.
Oh, it's not designed for human beings. It's designed for baby alien to ride. I mean, quite literally. This thing is, it's so just, the prestige and history is literally oozing from everywhere on this motorcycle.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, we're gonna have a video coming out in a few days. It's gonna be called So You Want a Honda Fireblade. We'll dive into the history of these flagship Hondas, because there's so many cool bikes that Honda has made throughout the decades that fit this kind of flagship mold. Your RC30s, RC45s, NR750s.
Yep.
There's so many cool bikes that they've made. And this thing is just going to be an absolute blast to enjoy and ride. We cannot wait to keep making more and more content with it, because we're going to have it for a good 4 months here in the shop. We're going to have to compare it against the ZH2, but something tells me they're two very different animals.
Oh, yes. Just a little different. Just a little.
Yeah.
But one thing I gotta do, we gotta get it off the lift and listen to this Acra system that it has fitted on here.
We do have to turn it on. Let's get a quick sound clip. Now guys, as we mentioned, this bike does have a crazy name, the CBR 1000 RRR SP, but we're just gonna call it the Fireblade because that's the coolest name for a motorcycle ever, and there's a funny story around that, right?
Yeah, so originally this motorcycle in Japanese was called the Lightning, which
not as cool.
I mean, it's still pretty cool. You have a Lightning motorcycle. I mean, that's pretty sweet. But the Fireblade name actually comes from a mistranslation from Japanese to French. They tried to translate Lightning, they couldn't quite figure it out, and they just called it the Fireblade,
Like, which
Fireblade, which is so much cooler. I mean, it literally sounds like the most legendary weapon in like an RPG or something like that.
It does, yeah.
And I think this is probably about the most legendary weapon on the street out there right now.
Yeah, you will not see this motorcycle anywhere. I have only ever seen them at EICMA when I was in Italy in 2019. I've never seen one just rolling around the streets. So I think, personally, the desirability factor is off the charts on this thing. And it's so desirable, in fact, that the dealership I bought it from had to move it from another dealership, and they put it on the main floor. They told me they had to move it off the main floor because too many people were coming up and poking at it and ogling it and stuff. So they tucked it away in the back corner for me, which I thought was great. And then on my first ride out with this thing, which you guys are gonna see tomorrow, I went to a coffee shop and two guys came up and were just like, dude, is that a Fireblade? And I was like, yup. It's just the biggest flex ever. Like, if you know what this thing is, it's like, holy crap, that's a Fireblade, you know?
I mean, it's one of the most halo motorcycles out there.
Yeah.
This is the kind of motorcycle that lives as your desktop wallpaper, and that's about as close as you're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of bizarre that we're gonna spend 4 months with it.
The fact that it's here and we can just, touch it. It's
right here. And then we're going to put it on a truck, and it's just gonna show up at someone's house.
That's so crazy. Yeah, it's still hard to believe that they're just gonna get this bike. It is a giveaway bike. It's not a scam. We've given all the bikes away, guys. Like, I know it's hard to believe, but someone will win this motorcycle for free. Again, it's $28,500 MSRP. I keep repeating it to myself so I don't lose my mind, and when I check my bank account, I'm just like, I spent so much money on this bike. But yeah, we did because we believe in what we're doing here. We think you gotta go big or go home, and part of me is shitting my pants a little bit thinking about the bike that's gonna come after this one, if we gotta keep going bigger every time.
I mean, where does it end? We're gonna start with next one's a Superleggera?
If we ever give away a Superleggera, it's going to be even more annoying about how big the price tag is. But make sure you guys sign up to win this thing. We're going to have so much cool content with this thing. Tomorrow is the first ride impression of this bike. Big, long vlog with me behind the handlebars on it. It's a very, very cool motorcycle. Hit the links down below. YammieNoob.co, ynmoto.co, and YammieNoobMerch.com. Use the code Fireblade10 for 10% off and 2x entries to get yourself started to get entries for this bad boy of a motorcycle. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Wow, look how pretty this is. You know what else is pretty? My beautiful face and this next Yammie Noob video. Click it right over here and check it out for yourself. There's fun memes in it, maybe Hayabusas, maybe some cool stuff. There's only one way to find out. Click that video. Do it now.